Alright, so finally I got a Grimlock to go with the rest of the leader class Dinobots. And yeah, and it's the comic edition one, which is pretty neat. I like the box. You got like some nice art in here, and then full view of Grimlock there with 3 swords plus his blaster, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we'll look at that later on. Let's look at the box here for a moment. So yeah, obviously comic book style. You have more art here in gray, monochrome, whatever, and then Grimlock there obviously, but more comic art, so that's pretty neat. And then, you know, Grimlock here as well, so that's nice. And then yeah, more art. So love the box, definitely a keeper. But yeah, let's go open it up. Alright, so there's Grimlock with his accessory, which is the crown, the 3 swords plus the blaster, which we're gonna look at first. So this blaster is actually made out of blue plastic and then painted silver all over, so that's kind of interesting they did it that way. But yeah, and it looks like this compared to the Masterpiece one. So this blaster is actually bigger than the Masterpiece one, even though Masterpiece Grimlock is actually bigger, at least slightly bigger than this leader class Grimlock. But yeah, you can see the similarities except for the color, but that's the comic book edition for you. Now we have the crown here. So it's not shiny gold unlike the Masterpiece one. So, and there's some difference, like this one has this piece at top unlike the Masterpiece one, which is completely open. But yeah, that's a crown. Then here's one of the swords. This one I'll probably give it to Slag. Then here I might give this to Sludge because those two don't have swords. And then this one, I'm not sure who fits this more. Maybe actually this one should go to Slag. I don't know. But anyways, it's interesting to see that none of them are actually Grimlock sword, because this is the Masterpiece Grimlock sword, and this is the sword, or at least one of the swords that comes in swoop. And you can see that this is actually Grimlock sword. So I'll give this to Grimlock, this Grimlock here, and then the rest of the sword can go to somebody else. But yeah, those are the accessories, and let's take a look at Grimlock. Alright, so there's Grimlock fully armed up with his blaster and 2 plus 1 sword in the back there. And let's just give him a slow spin here. You can see the color blocking, which is pretty nice and quite different because of, you know, the blue instead of the black here, and then the yellow instead of the gold, just like the comic book art. Yeah, so definitely nice. Really nice proportion, better than the Masterpiece one. You know, because the Masterpiece one, and I'll show you later, the shoulders were way up, but this one is just right. Good proportions, obviously, especially with the legs there, unlike the Masterpiece. But anyways, let's get closer. Alright, so that's how it look close up. Really nice face, totally Grimlock, except in blue, but with the red, you know, visor there, so that's nice. And then you have this chest with this extra paint there. Is it paint? Yeah, it's not sticker, that's for sure. So that's kind of nice. So it's there too. And then when you look at the side, there's extra paint here. And then this thing is painted black inside, instead of just being fully unpainted. So there's more of those here and there. But yeah, we'll see more of that in Dinobot form or Dino mode. And so and there's a little bit there too, so that's quite nice. But yeah, looks pretty good. And then when we go lower, you have, you know, the red underwear with the blue shorts or thighs, I guess you could say. But yeah, there's more black here. Kind of a hollow there, so that's kind of, you know, unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. There's more here on the arm, wrist area, and yeah, pretty similar there. Then you have just a little bit there too, and then for the legs here, you have more black paint here and there. So yeah, so pretty nice. But you don't get colors on the shins and stuff like that, unlike you know, G1 or Masterpiece. But yeah, anyways, let's take a look at the articulation. Alright, so for articulation, the head is in the ball joint, I believe, so you can look up a tiny bit and then down. But if we do too much, it'll do that, and no. But yeah, it definitely go all the way around. So that's it for the head, and then for the shoulders, you can do that. And if you move the wings at the back there, you can go all the way around and it's ratcheted, so that's pretty nice. And for the biceps here, it's on a swivel, so you can rotate all the way around. And the elbow has more than 90-degree bend. The hand will rotate at the wrist, so that's pretty nice. So that's it for the arms. And for the back here, you can adjust the wing like this and like that as well. So also the dino arms can be rotated to be moved out of the way in this thing too. But yeah, for the body, you can rotate at the waist there, no ab crunch. And for the leg, you can kick to the front, to the back, and the Van Dam, yep, all the way. So that's pretty nice. And then you can rotate there too, at the top of the thigh, and the knee will bend 90 degrees, and it's ratcheted too, soft ratchets though. And then the feet will do that, and that, and this, but that's pretty much it. So kind of limited for the feet, but you know, overall pretty good, as you would expect. But yeah, let's check out the size comparison. Alright, for size comparison, let's bring out our standard here, which is the G1 Optimus Prime. Actually the missing link, but same size and everything. So, and here is Core Class Willie, not the one that came with the other Grimlock, because I don't have that. But yeah, you have Deluxe Class here, Pterosaur. You just have it in hand, so that's how they look together. And Warrior Class Sweet. So yeah, there's Leader Class Beast War Megatron, also T-Rex obviously, and you can see the size difference between the two. I mean, he's a good figure, but you know, it's definitely smaller than Grimlock here. And finally, Commander Class Ultra Magnus, definitely bigger, but not by a whole lot. So you know. And since I've been talking a lot about him, or referencing him, Masterpiece Grimlock. As you can see, they're pretty similar in size. And he's way more blingy because of, you know, he is Masterpiece, so yeah, they can afford the chrome there, some diecast here and there. Yeah, so Yeah, actually, it's interesting. He has like multiple color of chrome, like gold, red, and silver. So and then obviously some clear plastic here and there. You don't get that here, and that's mostly because it is the comic book edition, so it doesn't have that in the art. But if you look at overall, better proportion. The shoulders are, not like way up here. So this one's just kind of weird. But other than that, considering how old this thing, I think this thing was released in 2010. I bought it from Toys R Us for $70 Canadian, which is crazy because this thing costs what, 90 now or something Canadian. I'll put the price in American. But yeah, and those were the good old days. Canadian dollar was pretty much on par as the American dollar, so it's easy to just go into the States, buy some toys from Toys R Us or Target or whatever. But yeah, that's that's Grimlock. All right, so there they are all together, finally and last, and they look so good. From left we have Slag, Snarl, Grimlock, Sludge, and Swoop. At first I thought Grimlock wasn't gonna go well, at least for this particular version that is based on the comic book art. But the blue is very similar to Swoop here, if not the same. And then obviously the gray is, pretty consistent. But yeah, and I gave the sword, one of Swoop's sword, to Grimlock, the one that looks like this, except all in red. Is all in right there. And yeah, since this one comes with 3 swords, I gave 2 of them to Sludge and Slag. So now they're all have swords, except for the 2 here that don't have guns, which is a shame because the G1 toys are pretty armed to the teeth. But maybe third party can fix that. If not, maybe I could print some. So yeah, I just need to find the files and 3D print it. But yeah, anyways, in terms of size, Swoop here is the smallest, but not by much. I mean, if you include the tip here, that's taller than some of them. And this guy's tip here is also quite tall, but if you don't include that, Grimlock's is the tallest, but not by a whole lot. And Snarl here is visibly the beefiest, but they all look really chunky, especially for being leader class, which is pretty accurate to the show. In the show they're all big and similar in size together, but unlike the G1 toy, Swoop is pretty small because of his alt mode, so it's nice to have it like this. But anyways, I'm just rambling on. Let's go check out the other modes. Alright, so there they are, and they look so good, but they take up a lot of space. So same order as before. We have Slag, Snarl, Grimlock, and Sludge, then finally Swoop here. But yeah, so let's grab Grimlock and compare him to the rest of them. Alright, so first up is Slag here. Definitely shorter, but yeah, still a chunky little guy. Then you have Snarl here. He's even chunkier, but stubbier. Yeah. Alright, so Sludge here. He's beefy little guy, definitely longer. Yeah. Then finally Swoop. If you spread the wings, it'll take up a lot of space, but that's what you have. Alright, so there's Grimlock, and it's pretty cool. At first I didn't think he would go well with the rest of the Dinobots because of his unique color scheme, but in hand it does, because the blue is very similar to Swoop and the yellow is very similar to Snarl. And I do like all the shading effects all over the place, so That's really neat. On top of that, the accessories are pretty nice too. Like it comes with obviously with the crown, which he is wearing right now, and it comes with 3 swords. Not this one though. This one comes from Soup, but it's obviously for Grimlock because of the design. The 3 sword he comes with are made out of this soft rubber material, which is kind of odd, but obviously you can give those swords to the 2 Dinobots that don't have any swords, so that's pretty nice. Aside from that, there's nothing really I can complain about. Only thing is that hollow wrist over there, but that's just the mold. This particular mold was already like that anyway, so maybe they could have improved it, maybe not, but that's okay. Overall, the mold itself is still pretty good. Has good proportions, better than the masterpiece actually. And then the shoulder doesn't stick up. He has beefier legs, so yeah, definitely pretty nice. And the transformation is pretty nice too. It's simpler, but works. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say aside from it's a really nice Grimlock. And I like the box too, so anyways, that's pretty much it. I do wish that they would make more of this. I do have the Shockwave one. If you want me to make a video of that, I will. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I think that's it for now. Thanks, bye.